What is going on, people? Welcome to the Midwest Mike Sports Show. I'm your host, by the one, the only Midwest Mike. What's going on, buddy?
What is happening? Been a while.
It's gonna be back. Last week we popped on a little bit, and then now we're here for a full-length show.
There we go. Like and NBA is back. It's Thursday. Yeah, Thursday.
Yes. And I just can't wait for it, man. I've been crawling up the walls. I went to the Hawks game last night, so at least I got a little sports fix in. But me.
How'd that even end up? I know the Flyers are up 3-1, and then I never looked again.
Yeah, I originally said because Bedard's back, and I thought some of the lines maybe were not adjusted to that. So I ended up sticking with my initial gut and going with the over, but it did fly under. Mazurek was supposed to be in net, and then Soderblom ended up getting the start. So I thought maybe that was good for the over too. It was like a real quick switch. But Flyers came out, played a good game. I mean, one of the best defensive teams.
Was it 3-1 or 3-2?
3-1. Yeah, the Hawks, the first period was open. Wide open. Hawks had scoring chances. They had scoring chances, but it tightened up.
With the Hawks, it just depends if they score or not. If they don't, it's an under game. If they score, it's an over game. So
exactly. But it was nice to be there. Nice to be in the stadium, and getting me amped up here for the NBA. So I'm excited about it. But anybody who is in here, anybody who's in the chat, throw in your best bets, throw in any comments, throw in any bankroll questions you want Mike to answer, any games you want him to specifically touch on, if he can give his 2 cents on it. I'll interject with some of my NBA looks, and let's get started here, buddy. You excited?
Yeah, I am. Yeah. It's pretty big NBA slate.
What's going on with the audio?
What's that?
You're like real fuzzy.
I am?
Yeah.
Here.
Not sure what's going on. Having some technical difficulties here, folks. Some technical difficulties. Share the link, though, on Twitter or Instagram or wherever, and let's get some people in here. All right, let's get back.
How is it?
Terrible.
Really?
Yeah, you sound like a robot.
I don't know. Let's see.
All right, try now.
Is it better?
No. Oh, I guess it's just maybe my end. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe it's just my end.
Yeah, I don't know.
Can everybody hear Mike? Is it coming out okay? I sound good, but okay, sounds good there.
You'll just have to listen to a robot.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll get out of here and then pop back in.
You can try it.
Yeah. That's fine. Okay.
Yeah, pretty big NBA slate. It's a decent college basketball slate. There's a few games I'm looking at, some of the bigger games, and then decent NHL slate. I'm probably only going to have the one NHL play that we can talk about here in a second when he pops back on. What's going on, Larry? Larry's Card Emporium. Is that trading cards? You collect cards? If you do, I recently just kind of got into it here, probably about a month or two ago, and that shit's addicting, man. Yeah, that 5-star that came out yesterday, and obviously the NBA Prism that came out yesterday. A lot of that shit is really, really expensive. But I got some nice hits. Some of my favorite stuff was that the Bauman Breakers Delight football. Got a lot of nice stuff out of that. So actually made some money on that stuff. So
you talking about the sports cards?
I just saw Larry's Card Emporium, so I asked him if it was cards, and said, yeah.
Oh, love it. Love it.
Can you hear me better?
Yeah. You know what? It was totally me, guys. It was something with my mic setup with my headphones. I don't know, but we're back. We're good. I'm just running it through the MacBook speakers here, so we're all good.
Why
Nice
don't
to
we
see everybody in here.
We can start with just talk NHL. I got one NHL play today. It'll probably be my only NHL play. There's two games that I like. I ended up parlaying them together. It's the Stars and Lightning. The Lightning host Washington, who's coming off that win versus the Devils, and then the Stars are in Ottawa. The Stars are coming off 3 losses. One of them was in overtime. One was in a shootout against the Bruins, which we had the Bruins the other day. That was on Monday. Ottawa, I don't know. They're 1-3 in their last 4. This is their first home game back after 3. They just lost to Florida the other night. We went against Ottawa with Florida. Florida was up, most of the game, and then they sold it there at the end. Florida ended up winning 3-2 in overtime. But they beat Tampa, and then they lost to your Blackhawks and lost to the Ducks. Mm-hmm. So Dallas off 3 losses, 1 in OT, 1 that Bruins game. They outshot the Bruins by a ton for a majority of the game. And then they lost that, and I think it was 10 rounds in a shootout or whatever it was. That shootout was intense. So 2 really close losses. That could have gone either way, 1 in OT, 1 in a shootout. So I like Dallas to bounce back here. Dallas leads the league in goals per game. Ottawa gives up a shit ton of goals off a 3-game losing streak. Got to like Dallas to bounce back here. I think that's -155. And then the Lightning at home versus Washington, I think that was like -190. I think the parlay is +151. So I risked like 0.99 units, $990 to win 1.5, $1,500. So +151 parlay. The Stars and the Lightning 2-team money line parlay. And that's probably all I'm going to touch. The other game I was looking at was the Leafs in Vegas. I did like the Coyotes a lot last night. Yeah, they had lost 10 straight. They just had a really bad first period. Can't give up 3 goals in the first period. Dude, Toronto had 5 power plays in the first period. It was 3-0, and then they stormed back 3-2. It was 3-2 going into the third, and then just never came back. But the line reversed.
Yeah, not much you could do there.
Just everything, the spot, and Arizona's actually dominated Toronto in Arizona. Like the last 4 head-to-head, I think they won 3 of them straight up. And Toronto plays down to competition at times and stuff. So, and kind of a look ahead, front end of a back-to-back. The Toronto Vegas game should be good. I probably won't end up touching it. But that was the other game that I was looking at. So probably just the one NHL play today. College basketball, looking at a couple different sides. We got the Ohio State, Minnesota game, looking at that. We have Washington, Arizona State, looking at that. And then the Arizona, Washington State game, looking at side and a total on that one. So I don't have any college basketball posted yet, but I would guess I would have probably 4 college basketball plays today. One of them probably be a 2 to 3 unit play. And then NBA still figuring out, but I got a couple 2 totals and a side, 2 totals and a side post in the NBA. So
yep, love it.
And we do have a futures on the Arizona Wildcats. I think we got that at like +1,600. So feeling still pretty good about that one. I think we got some pretty good odds on it. I think that's closer to that +1,000 now. So good odds on that. And then that Rocket season total, I think that's at 31.5. I don't know exactly how many wins they're at off the top of my head, but that should definitely hit here.
The Rockets are at 24 wins.
Yeah, so we need 7, 8 more for a win.
Yeah.
That's easy.
Yeah, I mean, they've They've kind of surprised a few. Good young team. Sengun's playing out of his mind. Baby Yoke.
At times, that one game that I was on him, he was awful, and he didn't even really play in the second half. I think his back or something, he's been dealing with some kind of nagging injury and stuff too. But yeah, no, he's good. Whitmore, I like him a lot.
Mm-hmm.
The Rockets are going to be good. They're a couple years away, but they're going to be good. Brooks, I can't stand
I agree.
him.
Who? Oh, Brooks. Oh, you know.
Dylan Brooks. Yeah, Kentucky was a heartbreaker, man. Last night, so we finished up a unit Monday. We finished up 5.4 on Tuesday. Last night we had a few bad calls, whatever, and then we had two that sucked to lose. Kentucky took the lead late, and then we lost Kentucky the exact same way as the UCLA game. A few seconds left, go down, missed the shot, and then a tip in as time expired to win it. That's how he lost the Kentucky, New Mexico 2-team moneyline parlay. And then New Mexico, if you guys watch that game, that was just so frustrating to watch. Both halves. I mean, the first half, they started the game up 15-2, I think. And then Colorado State went on a big run. And then New Mexico State just really didn't look good the rest of the game. But yet they were up 6 to 9 points most of the second half. But you can't go 12 for 20, 60% from the free throw line. A lot of their looks offensively, they play at a really fast pace, but a lot of their looks offensively were just kind of bad. Like, I don't know. I think House at one point was like 4 for 13. He would just literally drive to the hoop and just chuck it up and expect them to call a foul every time. I don't know what the fuck he was doing. But it was just frustrating to watch. I thought they would have shot better at home, especially after losing 2 straight at home, coming off a loss to San Diego State. I love watching the Mountain West. A lot of good teams there, good competitive basketball. But got a great line on it. The line was 6 when I did it. I played it at 5 for 4, but it did end up moving to 8. So it got 2-point CLV on the game. And yeah, I really thought they would have won that game by double digits. To not get the cover by 3 points. Missed free throws at the end and just not on offensively pretty much the entire game. So sucked not getting that one. We needed that one for a parlay too. It was about a 10.5 unit swing. So I think yesterday finished down like 7.5 units, something like that. So we're down about a unit on the week on the old system now, up 2 days, down 1 day. Really wanted to get New Mexico State last night to be 3-0 on the week and be up about 9 units, but didn't happen. So,
but the bread and butter's back today in the NBA. So,
and it's turning. Losing shit like the way we lost UCLA, the way we lost Kentucky. There's not much you can do about that stuff. And Kentucky had a big lead at the end. They were kind of lucky to come back. I think they're down. I wasn't really paying much attention to that game. It was more the New Mexico State game, but I know they're down 5 with a few minutes to go. So, they were up, I think, double digits at half. So I don't know. Shame on them for blowing the lead, but they did end up coming back a little bit. But just sucks having the lead and then losing on another tip in at the buzzer, just like the UCLA game. It was the exact same shit. So
no good. Those are heartbreakers, man.
College basketball, man.
Yeah, that is, and that's sports.
One thing I will never understand is how these college kids, these great shooters, cannot hit fucking free throws. I don't get it. Dude, I could shoot 75% in high school. And I wasn't the best shooter, but I couldn't fucking make free throws. Like, it's not hard. And these guys, I agree. Like, you can shoot 40, 50% from deep, but you can't hit a free throw. Like, I don't get it.
They are free for a reason.
It just boggles my mind, man.
It does. Think about how many great NBA players suck at the free throw line. Look at Giannis. Look at even LeBron for a lot of his career. He's gotten a little bit better now as time's gone on because he's had to become a better shooter. But Giannis is pitiful. It's pitiful to watch. I can't stand it.
I think he's kind of an exception. I mean, his hands are just so fucking big. He's just kind of a freak athlete.
Okay, but we regard this
He
man as
can
one of the best.
inside fucking slam it, dunk it off the glass. Just, I mean,
All
that's why
he does is drive to the
he's
hoop.
for 18 field goals. It's because it's all fucking layups and dunks. You can't shoot the fucking ball.
But
I'm talking about people that actually can shoot, like
yeah,
40% from deep on the season, but you're a 50% free throw shooter. That shit boggles my mind. I don't get it.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
some
I
of it
agree.
sometimes is the moment, whatever, it's college, you don't know what the fuck these kids are doing the night before, up all, who fucking knows? But
Who knows? Yeah.
I mean, you don't know in the NBA either. Look at Ja Morant, Larry's guy, fucking out at the nightclubs all hours of the night before the games.
That seemed to work for Ja, though. I mean, and it's not working for him now because he's hurt and whatever. But some guys can do it. Some guys can do it. We got Wolfgang in the house. He can make 10 or 8 out of 10 right now at the line.
Seriously.
Uncle Philly agrees. Should have won at least by 10.
I thought they would have. Yeah. I did not see them shooting that bad after losing 2 straight at home and off that San Diego State loss. I didn't even look. They probably shot about the same, maybe even worse than the San Diego State game. I didn't even compare the two. But yeah. And the Pit's a tough place to play. I think it's ranked 7th in college basketball. I mean, it's a tough place to play. Yeah. It's just when you get, I think the one time they had 5 stops in a row on defense and they didn't score on any of those like opportunities. Like that's just, and a lot of them, since they play at such a fast pace, they just, it's just stupid, wild, like pull, like the one time they got to stop and then they had numbers and he just pops up and shoots a 3 2 feet beyond the line and doesn't hit it. Like, well, what are we doing? You got a 3-on-2. You got 2 points. Fucking take it.
Right.
But
well, that little stretch and multiple other factors is the difference between a team covering or not.
Yeah, I mean, just hit free throws alone is
brutal.
Changeable.
Are you doing good? You popped out. You popped out for a second.
I'm good.
Okay, good. We got Jimmy in the house. What's up, Jimmy? Good to see you back, buddy. Good to see you back. We got Devin in the house. What's going on? Like I said earlier, guys, throw in any game, throw in an NBA game you guys want us to talk about. Any questions, bankroll questions, whatever you got.
I'll talk about Chris's comment.
Chris's
comment there. Yeah.
All right, there we go.
Yeah. So I don't know if you noticed, I'm not really going to even talk about this much really until the end of the week. But some of you may know me from, I don't even know how long I've had a paid service now, years and years. But how I built my following was similar to how we've been doing stuff here these last few days. And that is a little bit higher volume, but lower units. Because at the end of the day, I'm really good when I kind of play everything that I like. I hit more games than I don't, and typically make money. So you're not, and I think you can already kind of see that, that there's not going to be, bigger downswings and all that stuff. We can even have like a bad day like Monday, still finish up a unit. But at the same time, you could have a good day, like Tuesday and still make, 6 units, and have a shot, and you can, make double digits. But the whole kind of thought process there is, especially last week, and I'm not making excuses, guys, but I could name off 7, 8 games that were just fucking brutal beats. And the reason I bitch about that is because the way we were doing it, 2, 3, 4 unit plays, it's tough because those games are such huge swing games when you're playing stuff for 2, 3, 4 units. You can't have a couple bad calls and have a couple like bad beats like that and make money. It's just not going to happen. Where with this type of system with a little bit higher volume, playing most stuff for 1 units NBA is going to be a little bit of an exception. Football will be a little bit of an exception. You're going to see, multiple 2, some days 3-unit plays. We'll still have 4 or 5-unit plays in the NBA and stuff too. I'm not going to change much in the NBA. Just some of the sports like college basketball and MLB, where you have these huge slates every day. That's going to be more of this type of system, especially sports with higher variance and all that kind of stuff too. Football, you only got 16 weeks. Football, we're going to, I'm going to cut down the 10, 15, 20-unit plays, that stuff. Probably not as many 7-unit plays, but I'm still going to have big plays every Sunday and, Saturdays and college football and all that stuff. Cause it works through the first week, through the first game in week 16 during the regular season. We're up, I think, over 120 units in the NFL. So that works. But doing that with every sport, for me anyways, doesn't work. And that's why, in NBA, the first 6 weeks of the year, we're up 50 units. I think we made triple digits in NBA like every year. Just easy. NBA futures, everything. Just NBA to me is just, I don't know, it's easy. But there's other sports like college basketball and all that stuff where there's just higher variance. It's just not worth doing 3-unit plays, on these games and stuff. And I think you'll find out that with this system, and I'm not bullshitting you when I say that when I did this for a couple of years, and this is how I built my following, we'd have months where we'd be in the green 23, 24 out of 30 days. And that's no bullshit. Mike can attest to it. And anyone that followed me back before I even launched a paid service can attest to it. Why did I kind of change to this other system? Well, some of you may know that when I originally launched a paid service, I partnered up with somebody. So I had to kind of change my style. I couldn't really do the volume I had and then do his stuff. You know what I mean? It was just too much for people. So I had to change kind of my style, unfortunately. And it was doing that for so long that it kind of took me a while to realize things. And I know I talked about it once last year, maybe going back to that. We did for a minute in baseball, but when I said that, it was like August 1st, I think. And then college football started and we got right back into the football season of bigger plays and all that stuff. And I just kind of never made the full commitment to it. So how are we going to get these units back, Chris? I can promise you that we're going to have way more green days than down days pretty much every month. And, you're not going to have, we might not be able to make 80 units in a day like we had, an opportunity during the NFL. Well, maybe during the NFL season we still can, but you're not going to have that opportunity, but we're also not going to have there's going to be no shot of finishing down 20 units in a day or, that type of thing. The reality is, January finished down just over 30 units, but we had almost 50 unit swing on the Ravens game, 25 units, on the Lions game. I sucked in the NFL playoffs this year. There's no way to put it. Hoops was really good in January. Hoops, we probably did 40, 50 units in hoops. But I killed that with the NFL playoffs. So it's just great in the regular season and just had a shitty playoffs this year. There's no other way to put it. And then, so like last week, it just kind of, that's when it kind of just hit me. And it's just like, you know what, doing 3, 4 3-unit plays in college basketball, hit one of them, bad call on one of them, and then have like the UCLA game, shit like that. It's just worth it in some of these sports. So even yesterday we hit New Mexico and we would have been 3-0 on the week and up about 9 units. Instead, now we're about break even on the week. So 2+ days, 1 down day. And that's why I'm not really talking about it on Telegram or Chalkboard or anywhere really yet, because I just want to show it to you and prove it to you first. And then I'll talk, about it. But since you asked, spoke a little bit about it there. But I know it works. I've done it for a long time. Probably should have never went away from it. But when I partnered up with somebody, I kind of had to change my style. And then when you do that style for years and years, it's tough to, say, oh, now I'm going to go, you know what I mean? So sometimes shit has to happen, before changes are made. So I acknowledge that. I realize that. And yeah, I know this works. I've done it and I'm confident in it. And yeah, so just show it to you. And yeah, and I'm tracking everything on, this old system too, just so you can see the numbers and all that stuff. And yeah, I'm excited for it. And NBA's back. We're up 50 units the first 6 weeks. I don't even know how much we're up full season, but yeah, NBA has been great. So excited for MLB to start too. This system works really well for MLB. I had my best MLB season ever on this system, almost did 130 units. So, and then, on this system too, you're going to play more dogs, you're going to do that kind of stuff. Whereas when you're throwing 3-4 units on a play, you're playing less dogs because I got to hit this. I got to hit this. I got to hit this. And it's just, you don't have as much pressure on individual plays. You can have a bad beat happen now. And it's like, I mean, it sucks when it happens on a POD, but on a 1-unit play, it's like, yeah, whatever. It is what it is. Move on, but when it happens on a 4 or 5-unit play, it's like, fuck, that's a 10-unit swing, So that's kind of the why there. But yeah, I encourage you to just keep paying attention and stuff, and it'll prove out to working. Believe that. So
absolutely excited to get back to it on these, like you said, higher variance sports. And everybody will notice that it's, like you said, with football still going to have some of the bigger spots. I mean, it's not like that system didn't work. I mean, it did work. It's just there's more variance. And like you said, there's more. You can go down 20 in one day, or you can go up 46 in one day. I mean, it's that's kind of how it is.
In the long run, it's not worth the risk and reward. It's right now, I just want to be all about consistency. If I want to be green at least 4, if not 5, 6 out of 7 days. And with this system, I know that that's possible. And, maybe some weeks we'll make 10 units, some weeks 5, but some weeks might make 20, yeah, we might not have 80-unit weeks or 80-unit run in a week. I mean, maybe with NBA and football and stuff, but but yeah, it's just right now, it's just all about consistency. It's only so we're only 6 weeks into the year. So I figure, you know what? Now's the time to do it. I'm not gonna, we're not gonna chase anything here. It's just, let's just make the switch, show it to you. And I think it'll prove out to work very, very well. And just the main thing is be consistent, not the big downswings, get these units back and have a big year. So
love it. Love it. And come March Madness time, I'm excited for this.
I mean, we did 50 units in NBA in 6 weeks. So, maybe 6 weeks from now, we got another 50 in NBA and boom, plus the other sports. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And in March Madness, I'm excited for the, higher volume because we can take more chances on dogs, like you're saying as well. And some of those dogs, man, are nuts. Plus,
yeah, I mean, March Madness, you might do a unit on the spread and then a unit, on the money line. It means it's March Madness. We're going to have some fun with it too. So
absolutely. All right. We do have a few new people come in here. Jerome, what's up? Good to see you.
Jimmy, the Triple Crown. He's back.
The Triple Crown, man.
Triple Crown that shit. First quarter, first half, full game.
I love it.
Is that 8.5 now, or is it 8? I know it opened at like 6.5.
8.5, yeah. Bulls at home.
Cool. Yeah. The Bulls they've come around as of late. But
yeah.
The Celtics
are Levine's out. They've come around.
I mean, I like the Celtics to win. I don't know if I'm going to touch a -8 tonight.
I have such a hard time backing them. I have such a hard time. I don't know why. It's just they're not that good ATS. They're just not.
Yeah. They're more of a first half team, I think. Quick start.
And they were last year too.
Oh yeah, they blew a ton of leads last year. That I remember that Nets game vividly last year. They're up, I think, 42 and lost. It was fucking like a record. It was nuts. It was against the Nets.
I remember I had them, I think, -5 against the Cavs, and then Garland with like a minute and a half left came down and hit like 3 threes in a row, and they ended up winning the game, but they didn't cover. It was in shambles. But Jimmy, if you like it, run it up. I hope it hits for you.
I like the first half.
Going free money. Free money. That's a bold statement. Free. I love it. We got Jerome, Wizards plus 15.
The Nuggets, man, lane 15.
The Nuggies.
The line's so strong. For a team that's one of the worst ATS teams right now. Granted, Murray should be playing. Everyone should be playing now, healthy, whatever. But it'll either be a Nuggets blowout or it'll be a 5-point game. You know what I mean? There's gonna be no in between. It'll be 20 plus or five or less.
Pretty much. Yeah. I mean, the Nuggets have been my team for as long as we've known each other. And they have been profitable for me forever.
On last year too, plus 2,000. They were our team last year. Fucking
exactly.
Last year they had a point to prove and to win and all that stuff. Now they won. Now they're just fucking around until the playoffs, man. Just getting by, trying to win games.
Sometimes it doesn't even look like they're trying to win games. I just don't even. I can't read them. I cannot read them. They're just completely.
I don't like them much, though. They lost a couple guys, made some changes there. They're still mainly the same team, but I don't know. There's just something about them this year, just off.
I agree. I don't know if it's the defense or what. I mean, they did. I mean, Jeff Green, veteran leader on that second unit, him being gone, I think, has been a big problem. Just overall. I really do. And they're trying to get some of these new guys.
They win at home. Don't cover.
They win and don't cover. And it's like all these great teams, you got the Celtics, you got the Nuggets, you got, a lot of times you'll see it even with like the Warriors of these big market teams. We're constantly paying a premium to back them. And that's just what it is. And if the game doesn't go perfectly as planned, they win and don't cover.
15, I don't honestly. I wouldn't touch the Nuggets there, and I probably wouldn't touch the Wizards. Thing you got to remember, guys, is it's the first day back after the break. So some teams are going to come out looking good. Some are going to come out flat. I mean, you got a little bit of caution, for the first game or two for each team. I wouldn't be laying any 5-unit plays today in NBA or nothing like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, no. Maybe a total or something, an under or something, but yeah. First day after the break, you got to be careful.
I agree.
Let's see what else we got.
I agree with that.
I think Banchero might be out now. I think that moved from 7.5 to 8.5.
Yes,
he's questionable. I don't know if it was an illness or an injury or what, but I know he's questionable. Cavs have been great. We can just talk about each game here.
All right.
I mean, the Cavs, they've lost, 2 games in their last fucking 20-something? I'm not going to count them here. A lot.
Yeah.
Magic have been covering a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 against the spread in the last 10. But with him questionable, I don't know.
They're a scrappy bunch, the Magic, man. They play really good defense. They run really hard. Really good first half team. And one of the Twitter accounts we follow, they always give some decent trends and like ATS stuff, whatever.
What do you got on that?
The Cavaliers are 0-7 ATS, 1-6 overall since March 2021 on 4+ days of rest, or in like a season opener, and they're coming in with obviously 7 days of rest. So I know it's an all-star break or whatever, but that could be one of those spots if Banchero plays, man. Getting them 8.5, 7.5, whatever.
Here it is.
Bigger line.
Let's see here.
Something to be said about it. Something to be said about it.
You got the Pacers and Pistons. That's at 11.5. It's a lot for a Pacers team to be laying 11.5 at home.
Yeah, and I mean they had the whole All-Star weekend at home. You know, that could be one of those spots where they're kind of just messing around. Big
It is the
emotional
Pistons.
weekend.
I know people were like, what the fuck on that whatever Pistons play I had. Oh yeah, versus the Lakers. We had plus 12. They lost by 14, or we had plus 11. They lost by 14, whatever it was.
Yeah.
But they've been really good against the spread, guys. They've been before the break here, they were one of the best teams as of late against the spread. They also doubled their wins over their last 10 games. So some of these teams are just, I understand it's the Pistons, but they're a lot better than they were at the beginning of the season. And I know their record and all that doesn't say that, but like that's why I was on. I mean, the Lakers don't really lay big numbers like that too often. And I mean, the Pistons played like absolute dog shit and were a basket away from covering. You know what I mean? And then Phoenix plus 13.5 was their last one, and they got beat by 16. But before that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 2 against the spread before those two games.
Yeah.
And that was actually the game heading into the Lakers game that they were 12-2 in their last 14 games against the spread. So that's got to tell you something, that odds makers have not caught up to this team, exceeding expectations as of late, and they haven't adjusted the numbers as much as they should. And that's why I was on the Pistons versus the Lakers. When you see shit like that, 12-2 against the spread, that's a red flag. Like, okay, odds makers are still pricing this out like the beginning of the year, but the Pistons aren't like they were at the beginning of the year. And that's clear when you start covering 12 out of 14 games. So, yeah. Let's see where the money is on this one. I haven't
on Detroit. Well, the Pistons are
I like doing
the
my totals first and then get into the sides after.
Yeah.
So
Pacers are what, 1-5 ATS in their last 5 there, or 1-4. Wow.
It's looking about 66% bet, 62% money. Grimes and Stewart, doubtful, questionable. Neesmith and Jalen Smith, out, questionable. Head-to-head, the Pacers won December 11th by 8 as a 7-point favorite on the road. And then in November, they won by 23 as 9.5-point favorite at home. Well, the last game was minus 9.5 at home. They won by 23, but that was in November. The Pistons aren't the same team as they were in November. So,
no.
2 more points now. Yeah, I don't know. There's no way I'd lay 11.5 there. If I was to play the game, I'd have to play the Pistons there. Have to. Maybe
agree.
Even I would dig into the first half too. Off the top of my head, I'm not sure about each team in the first half, but that might be a spot too if you can get 5, 6, something like that in the first half, maybe. Let's see. First half spread. Detroit is 26-28. Pacers 24-32. So Pacers not too good of a first half team. Let's see their last 10. Detroit 7-3 first half, last 10, and the Pacers 3-7. Complete opposites in the first half over the last
10. Yeah, and that kind of backs up if they come out a little sluggish or not focused, considering they had the big emotional at-home All-Star game.
Yeah, you could even break it up, do a half unit on the first half unit full game. At least try to hit one of them and about break even, or hit both of them and make a unit. That might be
Wolfgang thrown in. Sounds like a revenge spot.
Yeah, you got that too.
Little
It's just
revenge
with the
game.
Pistons, it's more avenging just covering because them winning outright probably isn't too likely. But yeah,
Never know.
it's technically a double revenge.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we got here. If there's any specific games you want to talk about too, guys.
We had one that was up here. Uncle Philly, Knicks, Sixers. Any leans? Any leans on that one?
Ugh.
Weird little spot.
Missing Embiid, missing Randall. After the All-Star break, pretty much a pick 'em -1.
Mm-hmm.
Just without even looking at anything, I would say Sixers without looking at anything, but I haven't really looked at this game at all.
I agree with you there. I would lean that as well.
The home team.
Knicks weren't coming in. They did not finish the All-Star coming into the All-Star break well. They lost their last 4 spots. 76ers are still trying to find a little bit of an identity without Embiid consistently now.
It's a revenge spot. January 5th, Knicks won 128-92 as 5.5-point dogs. So they just blew them out in Philly. And this one's also in Philly. They haven't played at Madison Square Garden yet this year. So you're going to let the Knicks beat you twice at your own house after blowing you out by 30 plus the last time?
I don't know.
I like Maxey.
Love Maxey.
Yeah.
Who doesn't
to
like
me, it would
Maxey?
have to be a spot.
I agree. And I also something towards the 76ers is the Knicks are kind of on a little bit of a, I guess you can quote unquote it, one away here. They're on the road and then they're coming home for 4, and they have the Celtics on deck on Saturday, ABC game. So after an All-Star break, they're traveling out.
And Philly is home again versus Cleveland on Friday, home against the Bucks on Sunday, and then on the road, Boston next Tuesday. Yeah. Yep. There's really nothing that points to the Knicks there, really.
No, not really. I mean, the only thing could be is, Tibbs does get that bunch raring to go, man. They play decent defense. They're always, they always come in with an underdog mentality. They find themselves in that spot here tonight. You never know with those damn Knicks, man. Another team I have a really hard time reading consistently.
Well, and both teams with injuries to their stars, it's a tougher game to handicap like that, because we've seen the Sixers play really well without Embiid, and then they also, I mean, it's the same thing with the Knicks. I mean, they were consistent for a while there, but they didn't. Let's see how they. Yeah, they closed the break 0-6 against the spread with 1 win. So 1-5 straight up, 0-6 against the spread is how they closed after that huge run that they went on.
Yep.
So not coming into it in the best of form here as of late. And I saw yesterday, Randall he hasn't even said no to surgery yet. So this could be, if it's a nagging thing or he just has to do surgery, and that would, I don't know how long recovery is, but a dislocated shoulder, I'm assuming it's not a week or 2, like the Embiid surgery. That's a pretty quick deal,
right.
Weeks.
Right.
I have no idea. I'm not a surgeon, but on a shoulder like that, got to be longer than like Embiid's thing. I mean, I would guess that's season ending, but I don't know.
Yeah, and OG, he hasn't even started doing contact drills after his elbow surgery. So both of those guys, a little bit of an interesting spot.
I would play the Sixers. Not saying I am. I'm just saying that game. It's really the only way I could look.
I agree.
You can talk about I know you're on this next game, the Nets Raptors. I know you like your band of brothers.
Band of brothers, yes. So that's what I call it when a coach gets fired.
It's now 1, so the line's moving in your favor because it was 2, and now it's 1.5.
Yep. I'm going to be playing this one probably for 2 units. I will play the spread. I'm not touching the money line. I'll take the 1.5. I mean, considering the money line's minus 105, why not take the points? You never know. But when a coach gets fired, I always like to back the team on that next spot. Just seems to be something that is a consistent, profitable angle across all sports, specifically in hockey a lot. NBA, you don't really see it too often. But I did have 2 this year. One was the Bucks. They did cover. I forget the game, but they're like -6 or whatever. They covered. And then another one. The coach wasn't fired, but he did pass away for the Warriors. That first game back, I did back the Warriors after the coach passed away. I call it a band of brothers because the team comes together as a band of brothers and gets that next win, or at least tries extremely hard to win that following game to kind of bounce back, show their new identity under a new coach, or in the Warriors' case, wanted to get the win for their coach that passed away. So I will be playing the Nets here.
Their road struggles, 9-15 against the spread on the road.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Toronto, don't get me wrong, Toronto isn't good. So
and that's why I like it a little bit more than just for 1 unit, because I mean, Toronto isn't like the best team. So if the Nets can come out and get this
better
win
at home,
new identity,
better at home.
Yeah, I agree.
What are they at home? Let's see here.
Toronto. The Nets?
No, Toronto.
Toronto.
12-15, so they're still under 500 there.
Yeah. And Brooklyn's owned them. But I mean, you kind of can take that with a grain of salt because, I mean, the Nets have had massive turnover, right? They had Durant, they had Kyrie, they didn't. Now they have Bridges, then they Johnson, now Coach. I mean, they're all over the place, but I guess they finally got a direction. They're rebuilding around Bridges, new coach. Here we go. So we'll see. But I do like that spot. I think they come together, band of brothers it up, and they cover the spot.
Yeah, I've been watching that one for a few days. The line actually went from like 1.5 to 2, and then now it's moving the other way though. So now it's really not that significant anyways. But
right,
I'm curious on how that would move. I mean, you never know. That could close at a pick or even small fave. Who knows if it keeps reversing? I think the money's on the Raptors.
Yeah, I mean, it's showing kind of split here. A little bit more tickets on the Nets spread, but more money on the Raptors.
Hey, I can't hear you. It's all. No, it's your end. It's all. You guys can hear me okay? That's weird.
All right, how about now? Anybody hear me?
Yep.
Okay. There we go. We're back.
Perfect. That was weird.
Yeah, I don't know. Something's going on with my connection with my microphone and my whole setup, so I'll have to figure that out. First show back in a while, so I don't know why it's not working, but we'll figure it out. We'll get it all back up and running. Can everybody hear me clearly?
One spot I was looking. Maybe the over on the Nets Raptors game as well. I mean, Raptors at home, typically shooting better at home, obviously, versus on the road. And if you like the Nets kind of as a live dog, especially with the pace of play and that stuff too, the over could be a look there. Mm-hmm. I like some unders mainly here today, but that would one maybe leaning over there. But yeah. We got some other games though. We got some good games. Let's see. We talked about that. We can talk about the Clippers Thunder.
Mm-hmm.
Big game. I'm not gonna talk about this one a whole lot on the side because I might have a bigger play on the side on this game. I do have a play posted on the total, and that is the under 236 for 1 unit, minus 110. I like the under there. Just both defenses really good. Clippers are bottom 10 pace of play. Thunder are pretty good at not allowing opponents to get to the free throw line. They defend the 3-point line well. And just with the slower pace coming off the break, rested, all that stuff. I think you might see some rust offensively, but defensively being rested and stuff, that's why I like the under here. So I think it's a good spot to take the under 236. Yeah, two good offenses, but two really good defenses. The Clippers play at a slow pace. So coming out of the break here, personally, I like the under here. But I also like a side here, but I'm not done with it yet. But interested to hear your thoughts because we haven't talked about this game at all.
No, we haven't. Clippers is one of the teams over the break I was looking. I really wish I put a future in on them when they got Harden. They were still like plus 1,000 to win the finals, and I think that them just as a team right now, man. I think they understand it. It's kind of now or never for this bunch. It really is. So for the first time, maybe ever, we're seeing all these guys really come together defensively, and I mean it backs what you're saying. I mean they
not just that they're playing though. Kawhi doesn't want to sit out games anymore. Like
right.
He wants to play. It's different.
It certainly seems so. And Kawhi just got a new deal this year, didn't he? They just signed him into an extension.
He just got paid.
Yeah. So at least he's staying around. And I don't know, man. If I had to say for a side for me, I would probably lean the Clippers here. I just think overall you got to back the veterans here and you got to back the team that has a little bit more experience. This is a big game for OKC to come out and prove themselves. I mean, they've consistently done it all year, beating the Nuggets or whatever. They've done that a couple times. I mean, they're a great young team. I think they might be number 1 in the West right now, if I'm not mistaken. Or number 2. Yeah, number 2. But it's right then and there. And I don't know.
Clippers and Thunder, they're all right there for number 1.
Yeah. I mean, the season series is split amongst them.
End of the year, you look back on this game, it's going to be a big game. I mean, at the end of the year, there's not going to be much separating these two teams. So these are big games.
I agree.
The Thunder won the first one at home by 19 in December, 6.5 point favorite. So the last time they were playing in OKC, they were laying 6.5. Now they're laying 1. And then in LA, the Clippers won by 11 and 6-point favorites. That was on January 16th. So the series is. So it's kind of the series tiebreaker. I'm not sure if they play again after this or not, but if not, then this would be the series tiebreaker.
Yep.
And yeah, the thing with these young teams like the Thunder and the Wolves, I mean, through the first half, yeah, we're talking top teams in the West, and maybe more so to the Wolves, but it'll just be interesting to see how the second half pans out here and if they can keep that going.
Agreed.
Just younger teams like that and stuff, how they, I don't know. We'll see. Let's just put it that way. But
yeah. They remind me a lot of the Kings last year, how the Kings took everybody by storm, young team, kind of.
I was on the Kings from right off the rip last year, dude.
You were. You were.
Before books caught up to them and was like,
Yeah.
oh, this is actually a decent team. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It boggles my mind that for like the last 2 seasons, the books either haven't caught up or they just don't care because maybe the market doesn't respect them, or maybe they just, I don't know, but OKC has been one of the most profitable teams the last 2 seasons.
Last year, this year. Yep.
Ridiculous. I will say, though, I think Oklahoma City does play better defense. If you're comparing them to the Kings last year, they play better defense, but they're also not.
No comparison.
No comparison.
That fucking blows. Awful. Can't stand watching it. They don't even try.
No, they don't. But I mean, who would you say would be a better sharpshooting team? I mean, I know the Oklahoma City has their wings, but
Kings live and die by the three, man. That's all they do. If they're on from deep, as long as it's just all about scoring more points than the other team because their defense fucking sucks. The Thunder are a much more complete team. They got 3, 4 guys, 5 guys that can shoot from deep. I mean, you got SGA, the Williams brothers, not brothers, but you know what I mean? Both Williams. You got Case and Wallace. You got Chet that can shoot from deep. A Giddy every once in a while. I mean, you got 5, 6 guys that, you know, and they can beat you inside too. You know what I mean? And they play defense. I mean, much more complete team. The Kings, I even was bitching to you the one time, I think when we had the Kings, their defense or whatever. Brown, I'm so sick of hearing him talking about defense, and that's what we're focusing on. Dude hasn't done shit. Like, I think it's time for him to go. I'm not kidding. I like the guy and everything, but it's all he does is talk about defense. That's what we're focusing on. They don't play fucking defense, dude. You haven't done nothing, made no adjustments, absolutely nothing. So, and that'll kind of a leeway into the next one. Spurs and Kings. Sabonis out, doubtful tonight. He's going to be out, illness. And he's one of the only players on the Kings who plays defense. So I like the Spurs here in this spot at the 9. I think it opened 11 and a half. It's at 9 now. I know these lines have been up for a while or whatever, but you know, some of this stuff, you just NBA, especially with injury reports and all that stuff, sometimes you get burned by putting stuff in too early. So I like the Spurs here in the spot. I think 9 is a lot, especially with Sabonis being out. Spurs are good at getting out in transition, fast break points, all that stuff. So I think they can run with a team like this. They're not going to shoot as well, obviously. But I think 9 is a big number considering Sabonis is out and they don't really have any other big guy. You know what I mean? So consistent, that's like a Sabonis. I mean, Sabonis, a ton of assists, a ton of rebounds. He can score down low. So that's a big loss to this team, especially on the defensive end. So, and even the guards going inside and all that stuff, missing Sabonis. I mean, it's big. It's not just for the bigs matchup either. So, I think 9's a lot here. You know, the Kings could shoot 50% from deep and beat them by 20. Who knows? But first game back, I don't know. Just haven't been impressed with the Kings lately. And they, if I remember right, they ended before the break here really fucking bad. Let's see. What was the last game? Oh, they did win the Nuggets. They did come back and win that one. But Phoenix and OKC lost both of those. Oh, yeah. I was actually on I was on the Kings versus the Thunder. That was a Sunday early game. So that was Super Bowl Sunday. And then did have the Kings +5 versus the Suns, which they should have covered. They missed a free throw and got an offensive rebound, which led to 2 more free throws, and that's why we pushed that.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had the Nuggets first half versus the Kings, smash that. And then I did think Denver would win that game, but I told you I thought the Kings could cover it, and they ended up Denver blew a big lead, and Kings ended up winning by 4.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, I can't believe the Nuggets blew that game.
This is a team that pretty much is just kind of beats bad teams. You know what I mean? I don't know. They don't have many big wins or anything like that. They don't play defense, man, and you can't win in the NBA without being better defensively. I mean, they got nothing on the defensive end. And I never want to hear Mike Brown talk about defense again until they actually start playing it. So
I don't even know if they have the personnel to do it, man.
No,
I think that's what it is. They have just a bunch of finesse players who want to score, get out in transition, and that's it. They want to. They either blow it out.
They should have done something at the deadline because
I agree.
No shot in hell. They'll make the playoffs, but you ain't gonna do shit. You're not. You're just not. You ain't gonna be lighting that beam come playoff time. So
no, I agree. The first matchup between these two was early on in the season, November. It was a in-season tournament game. Kings won 129-120. Line closed at 8.5, so they did cover by the hook. So you're seeing the same exact line here.
With Sabonis, doubtful.
Yeah.
Well, some of that's probably baked in. I really don't think it's going to move even once he is ruled out because he's listed as doubtful. He ain't fucking playing. So if anything, it would move like a half point maybe. But
I agree.
That should already be baked in. But that was in San Antonio.
Right. So that even goes more with that. It's probably baked in because if Sabonis was playing in Sacramento, we're probably seeing double digits, I would assume.
Yeah. Well, it was priced at where it was before he was illness. It was 11.5. So
okay. So perfect. Yeah. Yeah, it's baked. It's definitely baked in. So you like the Spurs there?
Yeah, +9.
Like it.
And I think we even get a decent line on it. I think it closes around 8.5.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Spurs have been bad against the spread here lately, but Sabonis being out is big. And as I said, the Spurs are actually they rank decent for fast break points and getting out in transition and all that stuff. It just boils down to the Kings. They live and die by the 3. So if they shoot 60% from deep, we're fucked. If they don't, should have a good shot. I mean, it's a big number still,
right?
Especially without Sabonis getting close to pretty. I mean, you have to lose by double digits to lose the bet. 9 is a push, so we have to get beat by double digits to lose it. And I'll take a shot on the Spurs there. So
I like it.
And these Kings are the same type. They fuck around. You know what I mean? They don't show up half the time. So
I agree. Martin loves the show. Thank you, Martin. Thank you for being here.
Appreciate it. The Warriors, Lakers.
Yeah.
Open that
strong line.
Strong
line.
6.
Yeah. Strong line out of All-Star break here. Steph Curry, obviously on his historic 3s in a game run. He did show up at All-Star weekend and won that WNBA versus him. I forget her name, but he did win that. So he was present there, obviously played in the game. This would be their second chance at playoff revenge for the Lakers knocking them out at home, which we like, the Warriors at home if you're going to like them in an environment. And the previous game was that crazy double overtime game where the Lakers won by 1, and it could have went either way, but it was 145-144.
And the Warriors are coming off that game that we were on. That was a huge swing game versus the Clippers, I believe. Or no, they played Utah after that.
Utah.
That's right. And won
Yeah.
by 3.
Interesting spot. Huh?
There's no look ahead there with Charlotte. The Lakers have Phoenix, or no, they have the Spurs Friday. So they're on the road for one, being that it's still in California. Then back to LA for one, and then on the road.
Yeah, I mean 6.5 is an extremely strong line. I mean, are we expecting that the Warriors have kind of found their little mojo here? Are they coming together? Is Clay going to show up, or is he going to still pout on the bench?
He needs to go, man. That, however you say his name, Podemski, whatever. He's the new splash bro.
He is, and I mean, Clay. If he does not do something mentally in the second half of this season, that man can find himself in a buyout situation, and really, he could just be left to die on like the Pistons or something. I mean, seriously, he could go from champ to being banished out of the league because his attitude and what people are seeing on social media with him pouting on the bench when Steph's hitting a 3 at the end of the game, like,
well, he's on the bench at the end of the game. That tells you something. And
well, I know, but still, man. I mean, you gotta go. You gotta be rah-rah. You gotta do. You still gotta be something because
I know.
He's becoming almost the distraction that Jordan Poole was last year.
Clippers game, he fouled.
I know.
Like, what are you doing?
It's like he forgot how to play.
Yeah.
The Monstars stole his talent.
Green's been good.
He's been good.
He's been behaving.
He's been behaving
for the most part.
Yes. And he's doing his job.
Still iffy on him this year. I don't know. He's hit and miss this year. Great last year.
Yeah, the year before. Last year he had that hiatus. But yeah, I mean, he got paid, right? He got paid. And then he had a lot of personal problems.
Yeah, he came back for the playoffs.
He did. He did.
He was gone for a few months, but
yeah,
we still don't know why. But
well, I heard. Don't quote me on this. I heard that he found out that like his best friend slept with his girl or something, and the baby was actually his friend's and not his.
Oh, I don't give a fuck. You don't miss 2 months of fucking games, okay?
And then his mom too. I think his mom.
Can you imagine calling into your work and saying, "I got cheated on or whatever. I need the next 2 months off." Whatever the case, I'm getting a divorce, fucking whatever. Like, dude, your dad could die today. Your work's not going to give you fucking 2 months off. Like, there's bigger shit than somebody, a baby, fucking whatever. You know what I mean? Like, you don't just disappear for 2 fucking months, dude. In a stretch that they fucking needed you. Like, your team needed. Like, if anything, that should be what keeps you away from that mentally and just, okay, I'm just going to focus on ball, do my thing.
Yeah.
Study the complete opposite. I lost respect. We talked about this actually last year when this was going on, how I lost respect for him because of that.
Yeah.
That's just
I agree, man. That the Warriors organization, just with Jordan Poole and all their road problems. And
guys, I'm fighting with my wife. We're going to pause memberships for the next 2 months, taking the next 2 months off. Not doing shit. What the fuck?
Gotta get back mentally, right? Larry, he likes the Lakers in this one.
This is one what's that?
Is LeBron playing tonight?
I'll check one other thing. There's 3 guys on an injury report that I see, and that's Christy Wood and Reddish.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why he wouldn't be. First came back after the break. Bro, the Lakers aren't that good. They're not. Hold up. He is out. Ankle. And then Davis is probable.
So that's where you're seeing the line jump.
Well, this was announced yesterday. That's why it's not showing up on my other thing. Gabe Vincent out. Vanderbilt. He's out for a few weeks.
He should be out. Yeah.
So this was announced yesterday. So that's why the line moved from 3 to 6.
Yeah, there's your jump. Geez, man, you certainly do like the Warriors to get their playoff revenge at some point. Doesn't necessarily have to be this spot. I mean, TNT game, of course, Steph and them are going to be
covering the numbers different than winning.
Exactly.
This is a game that I would probably be a 2-team money line spot here. Warriors to win. Maybe the Warriors and Celtics. Jimmy's a Celtics player or something. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I don't like laying 6 with the fucking Warriors, especially after the Clippers, they're up 15, they're up 11 going into the fourth and just melted down, man.
Yeah, their fourth quarters have been bad recently. That's a tough number, but I do agree with you. Maybe it's a money line 2-teamer spot. But like I said, I mean, they do have 2 more games.
I wouldn't be surprised to see that close at 6.5, 7 with LeBron out.
Right.
Home court, right. LeBron, revenge spot. And it's not just LeBron, dude. They got 4 or 5 other guys out. You know what I mean? Not bigger names, but still key guys. So let's see what their lineups looking like here. So you
Christian
got
Wood out as well.
Yeah, I mean that's Reddish. I mean he's been out, but Vincent's big. I mean these are defensive guys too. You know what I mean? Right. Vanderbilt, Vincent. I mean it's so. Let's see here. They got Davis, Russell, Reeves, Hodge, Prince. And then, I mean, as far as on the bench, you got James, Reddish, Wood, Vincent, Christie out. You're going to have nobody on the bench. You're going to have Hayes, Hood, Schifino, Castleton, and that's it. I mean,
we got Dinwiddie. Dinwiddie's there now.
But
Dinwiddie. The only game that I can reference that if you want to look the Lakers way here.
The Warriors are deep, man. I mean, you got the Splash Brother, Green, Kuminga, Wiggins, Curry, Thompson, maybe off the bench, Saric, Paul, whatever. But Moody, Peyton, Looney, they're a deep team.
They are. They're sort of starting to buy in. Everybody's getting healthy. Everybody's back. Distractions are kind of going away besides Clay, but he's a champion. He'll figure it out.
I can see the kind of getting off to a slow start here. They're old, man. I mean, the Warriors are too, but they got, I don't know. The Warriors, well, I can't really say that. Both teams are motivated. Both teams need wins, but the Warriors, I mean, this is more of a, with LeBron out and all that stuff, you got to view it more as the Warriors kind of must-win spot.
Yeah, I mean, the Lakers, when LeBron was out and AD was out against the Celtics, they had a amazing game, and they ended up winning that spot, if you remember that.
The over could be a look here, too.
It could be.
With all that defense out.
It could be.
Wow. Yeah, over 35% tickets, 56% of the money. It moved up a point already. TNT game.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
It's a tough one. It's a tough spot. Without LeBron, you either got to back the Lakers to cover that spot, or the Warriors come out and make a statement and just don't even worry about the number. They win by double digits. It's very well possible. It's very well possible. I wish I would have gotten in at 3 when it opened, but can't trust this league with 3 days in between games.
Yeah,
just can't do it. You just can't do it. One game we didn't talk about, the other TNT game, the Suns and Dallas.
Yeah.
Suns and Dallas. Yeah.
Love the
Third
TNT
game of their season series, the final game of their season series, 1-1. This is the decider.
And what's weird is Dallas won in Phoenix and Phoenix won in Dallas.
Yep. And it correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't this the playoff series that actually happened when they were in the Western Conference Finals, that they only won on the road? Wasn't it? Wasn't it this one?
Yeah.
Was that one with the Clippers?
No, that was this one.
I think it was this one. Yeah. Suns have kind of found their mojo a little bit, but the Mavs, after getting Gafford, just seem to, now that they're healthy, Kyrie's playing, Luka's playing at an MVP level. But Gafford seems to just have tied this baby like a bow. I mean, he's playing out of his mind.
It's a tough game, especially coming out of the break makes it even that much more tougher. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I
it's
agree.
Tough. It's tough.
It is. Earlier on in the season, the Mavs are almost an auto fade against like a playoff contender. They were beating up on bad teams, and any team that played an ounce of defense or kind of was a playoff contender, they kind of wanted to fade them. Did it many times when they were playing the Wolves. You know, the Wolves just owned them early on. But now that Kyrie's back and they're kind of starting to catch a little flow here with Gafford.
6 straight, 5-1 against the spread last 6.
Yeah, I mean it's
but
you're always going to have a 50-50 split.
Be real here. They beat the Spurs, they beat the Wizards, they beat Brooklyn, they beat the Embiidless Sixers. They're only the Knicks without Randall in a skid right now, and then they beat the Thunder in a blowout where it was I forget if they had people out or it was a bad spot or something, but I remember that game. It was a weird game. They haven't really beat anybody then. So yeah, 5.
They haven't. No, they haven't, and that's kind of what I was saying earlier on in the season. How I would fade them against playoff contending teams, but I mean the Suns haven't been a fucking joy to back either. They're terrible ATS.
5-1 ATS and straight up in their last 6. They've 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-2 against the spread in the last 9. They're starting to come around now.
They're starting to. Yes. Yep. They're starting to play some better defense. Their second unit is healthy now.
I mean, they're dealing with injuries for a while. I mean, what was it? A couple months into the season, they only had a couple of games where all 3 of them played. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And not only that, but it takes time to mesh and gel and all that stuff once you finally actually start playing together and stuff. Takes a little bit. Because I remember when Beal first came back, then he hurt his ankle like in the first quarter, like right away or whatever. Remember that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I was on that game. And it was like right away.
I remember.
Hurt. So
call me a nut. I think I like the Mavs.
I kind of like the Suns, but
yeah,
we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Mavs winners of 6 straight, haven't beat anybody. Now playing a good team. First game since the break. Suns need to win some games.
They do. I just Luka always gets up for these games against Booker, and it's always a little bit of a modern day dogfight with these two. So, and Luka's pretty much gotten the better of them.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna probably say I like the Mavs there if I had to pick. Jerome putting in Pelicans -5.5. A little Pelly action.
Oh God, who do they got? Forget
the Rockets.
The Rockets who are ass on the road, terrible on the road.
Yes,
it's just the Pelicans are hit and miss, very hit and miss.
Zion's starting to play a little bit more consistently out there. I mean, he's always hit or miss if he's going to play. I do like that the Pelicans are at home in this spot. If the Pelicans were on the road and then they were going back home on the next game out of the All-Star break. This is one of those teams that is never focused in those spots. We perfectly faded them when they were in Vegas. They were high at their press conference. Everybody knew it. I mean, they weren't focused when they were in Vegas, and they tend to do that when they go on one-aways, but they are at home here. I think the line might be 7.5 now, though.
It is. The Rockets are terrible on the road. Fucking terrible. Let's see here. Where is it? Here it is. Rockets and Pelicans.
Mm-hmm.
All right. New Orleans 30-24-1 against the spread. Rockets 27-25-2, but let's look at the road here. Houston is 9-16-1 against the spread on the road. The Pelicans are 15-11 at home. Last 10. Pelicans 5-5 last 10 home games. Last 10 away games for the Rockets. 3-7. Yeah. Let's see first half here. First half. 17-8-1 at home, the Pelicans. Last 10, 5-5. Let's see the Rockets. Hold up. It went back to the went back to the full. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. It's the Pelicans could be a money line spot there too. I mean, you could do that with the Warriors, Celtics,
minus 108 on DraftKings. If you parlay the Pelicans money line and the Warriors money line.
Yeah.
Minus 108. Not a bad look.
Yeah.
Not a bad look in that spot. Something about that Celtics game. I don't want to go against our guy Jimmy, but something about that Celtics game just doesn't sit with me well. I don't know why. The Bulls get up for these spots, man. They get up for like the Celtics. They get up for the Bucks. They get up for these games that they shouldn't, and they hang. They hang. They do. I mean, the Celtics any given night could blow any team out by 20 or 30, but are they going to be focused?
I would say Pelicans with the Warriors, or maybe even Cavs with the Warriors, but probably the Pelicans.
Yeah, I agree. I like that a lot. I like
the
that
Rockets
too.
They're a really young team. They've shown that they've just been terrible on the road all year. They're young. They just had a long break. I do not see them coming out looking good on the road because they haven't all year anyways, especially after a long break. A bunch of young guys just had a week off. Who knows what the fuck they're doing. Definitely not. The more I talk about it, the more I like the Pelicans.
I agree. And you know what? The Pelicans also are kind of a little bit of a fight of their lives here to not be in the play-in situation again. They're sitting in that 6th spot. You got Dallas coming. And realistically, the door is wide open for you. Already know the Lakers are going to get their push. You already know the Warriors are coming. And even the Kings. I mean, the Pelicans, if they shit the bed, they could find themselves in the 9 or 10 spot potentially if they don't focus up. So why not focus up at home right out of All-Star break and beat up on a team that's been terrible on the road? Makes sense. Makes sense to me. I think we might have just found a little two-piecer.
I think we did. We did. Let's cook up a parlay, guys. What do you think? What do you like? Like a 3-teamer.
NBA or all sports or NBA 3-teamer?
Whatever. I will.
Mm.
Let's see here. Right now, I have 3 NBA plays posted, 2 totals, one side. I gave you guys 2 of them. One of the totals, one of the sides, and then I have an NHL play 2-team posted that I gave you guys at the beginning of the show as well. So I have 4 plays posted right now. I do have a few college basketball coming and a few NBA sides and maybe a total on that Warriors game. So that's what I got coming, plus a couple parlays. When I say parlays, I mean like the 3 and 4 teamers. I don't mean 2 teamers. 2 teamers I look at as like straight bets, more or less. So even though it's technically a parlay, I just started throwing them all as far as numbers wise, just as straights. Just straights are just normal plays. So
Right.
But let's cook up a little parlay. I'll throw something on it. I can post it. Whatever you guys like. I know we didn't talk a lot of college basketball. It's not a great slate tonight, but there is a few bigger games. And I'm likely going to have plays on most of those games anyways. So that will be coming. Ryan, I don't know if you were on here, Ryan, for earlier when I was talking about kind of the system that I've been doing here for the last few days, but you should be risking less now with the majority of them being 1-unit plays. So, rather than having 6-7 plays, all 2 to 4 units, like last night had 10 plays, 9 of them were 1-unit plays. I mean, one of them we were even risking 0.66 to win one because it was a dog. And then we had 1 4-unit play. So you should be risking less now. I'm not going to get into what I already said again. You can go back to this video and listen to that part of it. But you'll be risking less now. You're not going to see, big downswings like all that. So you won't be risking 20 units a night. So not a shot. I mean, 10 plays with a lot of them being, NBA, sometimes you'll have more, 2, 3-unit plays, that kind of stuff, but not 20 units a night. You won't be. Cavs money line, Pacers money line, Wizards plus 15. You like those Wizards, man.
I don't like the Cavs today, personally.
Yeah. And the Pacers, that's like minus 12, bro. We want to get paid on the parlay. And I don't even, the Pacers should win, but
we didn't talk about it, but the Jazz minus, I know, again, I'm high favorite, but the Jazz minus 440 on the money line. All the money's coming in on the Hornets. I don't get that one. Ball is out again. I can understand the mentality and what world are the Jazz worth minus 9.5. But if you look back at some of their head-to-head matchups, just in January, they were minus 10. Last January, they were minus 9. This is a spot that Utah's been in against this team and has covered.
Hornets are a first half team. The one thing I will say is Brandon Miller has looked really fucking good lately.
Has he?
Very good. Yeah. He's been like he looks like potential rookie of the year these past few games here.
Wow.
Yeah. Obviously, I'm sure Wemby will get that, and I'm sure Wemby end up long term, maybe being better. But yeah, Brandon Miller's looked really good. Like he's hitting a ton of shots from deep. Because we had them recently on a game. I watched the whole fucking game. That was maybe the Hawks game. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
You really have to get along.
Charlotte's won 3 straight, dude. And that's why I was actually on the Hawks the last game, because I'm like, dude, they just beat Memphis and Indiana. They're not winning 3 straight. They've won 3 straight, covered the spread 6, 7, 10, all dogs, and won outright all 3 of them. So, wow. And you go look at those games individually, look at Brandon Miller's stats. Dude's fucking, he's coming around, man. especially, you know, without Ball now, somebody's got to take a bigger role. So I'm sure that's part of it.
Sure.
But this
Probably helped
opened
them.
it opened at 8.5. It moved to 9.5 with the money on Charlotte, which doesn't make sense. Those are usually good money line spots. I've noticed when the line reverses. I'm not saying about the spread, but money line spots when especially when people are pounding the money line on a team and the line reverses the other way, usually that team wins at a very high rate. But yeah, the Charlotte Hawks game, they shot 50%, 40% from deep. Miller, 26 points, 4 for 9 from deep, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. Let's see the game before that. He's fun to watch, except when you're betting against him. You can't fucking stand him. The game before that, they shot 53.7%. He only had 12 points that game, 4 for 8, 2 for 5 from deep. I think prop on his threes, like over 2.5, over 3, something like that, could be worth a look too. He's been taking a lot of threes lately. The Memphis game, they shot again 58%, 52% from deep. So that's 3 straight games now. They're starting to shoot really well. He had 18 in that game, 7 of 9 shooting, 3 for 4 from deep, 6 rebounds. Him and Bridges, I mean, don't get me wrong, the Hornets aren't any good, but they could be sneaky here in the second half, especially with Miller coming around. So as far as against the spread, I would not be surprised. I mean, they've already not only covered but won 3 straight. I would not be surprised to see them go on a little ATS run here in the second half.
Sure. Yeah, I could see it, especially if Ball comes back. Which he should be coming back in the next week or two. But
and
the man has glass ankles.
But recognizing that in the right scheduling spot to start hitting them and then ride that fucking thing out, because it's going to happen. It's just a matter of timing and being on it when it happens versus waiting for it to happen 4 games and then hop on, and you know what I mean?
Exactly. That's how I find myself in most Knick games. I wait, I see, and then I lose.
That doesn't happen. Yeah.
It's the worst. I kind of like the Jazz there, though. I do. I like the Jazz there tonight. Even at that bigger number, even with everything you said about the Hornets, I do agree with it. I just think that they had a really heartbreaking loss against the Warriors there, and they've lost 4 straight, 3 straight at home. They got to come out hungry and beat up against a team that realistically should not be able to score against them consistently or keep up with them at a full strength Utah Jazz team. I mean, they can play.
Well, and they're another young team after a long break and all that stuff. So, yeah.
Right.
Utah win the game.
Jazz own the Hornets.
Yeah, you got 3 good pieces there. Utah, the Pelicans, the Warriors. So,
yeah.
Money line pieces.
Roger in the house. What up, Roger? Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you in here. I don't know. I think the Pelicans got to be a piece, right? Pellies.
Yeah.
We like them a lot.
Yeah. Even that Lakers Warriors over, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, the Jazz won't get you paid, but it could be a piece.
Spurs at 9.5 now.
9.5 now, yeah. I don't know what changed, if anything.
I don't think anything.
No.
Got the Clippers OKC spot. Yeah. A lot of work to do here.
A lot. It's so hard, man, because I mean, you kind of touched on it earlier on in when we started talking about NBA here, but it's so hard not to just unload units on the first day back. It's like the first day of the NBA. You know what I mean?
You can unload units, but
yeah,
I would do like the approach of playing more volume and 1 unit plays than
right.
launching 4 or 5 unit nukes all over the place. So.
I agree. Well, you know what? I mean, looking at the board, there's a lot of great games, and I think that we've touched on some good angles, but I really don't see many spots that is worth maybe more than 2 units. I think that this is definitely a high volume
It's
day.
after the breakdown. It'd be different like next week when we say, okay, it's their 4th road game in the last 6 days, third game in 4 nights. We have none of those spots right now because they're all rested, so it makes it a little tougher.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, we get going here, it'll be like, okay, if this team loses to this team tonight, the next game I'm going to pound this team, that type of shit. So we got none of that right now.
Yeah, there's no mapped out spots here at all. So,
yeah,
we touched on every game, man. Do you want to throw together a little parlay here or sign off?
Let's do should we do you guys throw in one that you like. We could do a Clippers money line, throw that in there. I mean, let's just throw something together. Clippers money line, Pelicans money line. Clippers are a 1-point dog, so that's like a -110 play more or less. You could do the +1, 2, whatever. Clippers. You like the Clips, right?
I do, yeah.
So let's do Clippers, Pelicans money line. I mean, you could do Utah and Warriors both money line, do a 4-teamer. I mean, the Utah's like a 10-point favorite, so you can't really. You got to have something else in there, but it would probably pay 3.5, 4 to 1 with those 4.
Yeah, those 4 on DraftKings right now is 364 plus 364.
Oh,
it's a nice little spot. I do like your total on the total that you have posted. That's on the Clippers game, right? Clippers Thunder.
The under.
I do like that. I know the under is not always the sexiest watch for people, but I enjoy that type of
It's
look there.
moved down 239.5 to 236. It's moving in the right direction too.
It is. And you could buy the points too if you want, get it back to the opening line.
So what are you saying? Do the under?
What was the opening line? 239.
Yeah. Are you saying do the under or do both the side and the total on that one?
Yeah, do the side and total. If we want to get wild.
Let's get wild. Yeah, it'll be a low risk.
Yeah, if you get wild and you buy it all the way back down, if you buy it to or buy it up, I should say to 239 or 239.5.
I don't even think we got to.
You don't even think we got to?
No. I mean, I got under 236 as a straight bet. It'll be fine.
236.
Yeah, I talked about that one earlier. So let's do the Clippers +1. It's 235.5. So I'm going to buy a half to 236 -115. So we got +1 under 236. And then we got where's the Pelicans? Oh, here they are. Pelicans money line -300. Let's see with the Warriors -234. So a 4-teamer without the Jazz is +579. If we just those 4. So even just to win a half unit, you're risking 0.08 units. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it pays almost 6 to 1. So literally you're risking less than 1/10 of a unit to win a half unit.
Yeah.
Sweat it out. Have some fun. I'll post it.
Yeah, that's a fun show. A show lay.
So, yeah, Clippers and the under, and then Pelicans and Warriors just to win.
I can't talk you off any of that spot. Larry likes one question: how often you do these? We'd like to bring them back consistently. We were doing them consistently every week. Some weeks we did two a week, and we kind of took a little hiatus due to both of our schedules. But now things have opened up, so we'd like to bring them back at least once a week, right?
Yep.
And then also he's like Pacers over, and Imanti Lakers Warriors over.
Yeah, I like the that look there, especially with all the defensive guys out for the Lakers. But yeah, I mean, if you guys like the show, let us know. We have no problem, doing it at least once a week. I mean, it's all what you guys want and what you make it. If you guys don't want it, we won't do it. If you guys like it, we'll do it. So,
absolutely.
But it's fun. It's fun interacting with you guys, talking about the plays, answering questions, whatever. We do have something coming big. You think that'll be ready tomorrow?
I think so. Yes. We're going to work on it all day today.
So you have something big coming that you guys will like. Big. So we'll leave it at that.
Yeah, that'd be good. I'm excited.
It's not a promo, nothing like that. You know how we do stuff. So
yeah, I'm excited for this one.
Give shit away and all that stuff. So we got something coming. He's just working on the video, and then hopefully, like he said, get that posted tomorrow or the weekend at the latest with details on that. And yeah, so
perfect. Well, you'll get that. You're going to post up the parlay. Is it going to be like a free one? You're just going to post it for everybody on the Telegram and Chalk?
Post it right now. It's 0.08 units, 86.32 to win 500, win a half unit, 4-teamer. I'll post it right now.
I love it.
Locked in.
I love it. So that will be posted. Thank you guys so much for watching, interacting with us. It's fun to be back. Get as many people in here as you know and want to interact. I know all you got friends and all of them watch sports. So bring them on the next show. We'll let you guys know when the next one is, hopefully next week. Like Mike said, we got something bigger coming in tomorrow or next coming days at the absolute latest. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching.
You can bring people on, right? You just got to email them a
link. Yeah.
So
if you guys want to come on, share your thoughts or anything along those lines, just look for the announcement. We're always announcing the show at least 1 or 2 days prior to it happening. The show's set up. It's on YouTube. We got the link launched. And then just email in. All you got to do is email in to us, and then we will send you the link, and you can tell us the play beforehand. And also just pop on and show your face, and we can talk to you for a few minutes. No big commitment. Just pop on, say your play, say what's up, and hop off. So if you guys are interested in that as well, get your guys' face out there. Then yeah, we could do that. So very easy to do. But Mike, you got any closing notes?
Not really. Good show. That was fun. And it should be even better here next week as NBA gets going again here and all that stuff. So should be some better spots and all that stuff. So but no, let's bounce back here today. Couple plus days, down day yesterday because of the New Mexico shit. Bounce back here today. Have a day. Love that NBA's back. Look forward to it. Look forward to the announcement tomorrow. And let's get this let's cash this parlay that we just did too. So
let's do it. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Feedback, please. Feedback, please.
Yes.
What you like, what you don't like, what you'd like to see, what you want us to talk about more, whatever. Just any feedback is appreciated. Positive, bad, whatever. Don't care. Just give it to us. All right.
Absolutely. You can email that in. You can even just comment on the YouTube video after it posts up here, or however you guys want to do that. DM us, whatever. But thank you guys very much for tuning in, joining us. And as always, invest wisely and live freely.